Hello everybody. In this video, you're going to learn how you can build workflows inside your SuiteCRM system, which are triggered with a delay of several hours, days, or weeks, however you want to configure it. My name is Bastian Hammer, your go-to expert when it comes to all things CRM, marketing automation, e-commerce, and sales integration. Okay, so let's go. So I assume that you've got your SuiteCRM system installed already. You've got your data structure, you've got your processes, you've got your fields and everything set up. And now you notice that some of your business processes require a delay. Not everything is instantly. So let's look into a couple of examples. For instance, opportunities. So you're talking to a person. With this person, there is an opportunity arising, but the person says, well, I have to discuss with the team internally. That might take a week or whatever. And then you want to get back to the person after this week. So there's a delay of 1 week, and then you can get back to the person again. Or maybe you're producing something or you're doing something at the customer side, a project. So maybe you first have to measure, then you've got a plan, then you've got to talk with suppliers, and you know with the supplier the communication takes around 1 week. And after this 1 week, you can check with the suppliers, is everything on place, and then get back to the customer. So there's a delay of 1 week. Maybe your marketing automation is generating new leads and is trying to qualify those leads. If one lead was classified as like this is SQL, sales qualified lead, and you start to talk with this lead, and then you would track the first time when you talk with this lead, and then you would have to do a follow-up afterwards if it hasn't progressed any further so far. So how to do this in your CRM system? Fairly simple. You need two things. First of all, you need a new field with the date, which should be the triggered by date. And then you need a workflow, which is checking for the date and doing whatever you want to do. Maybe like send yourself an email or put some task or whatever into your CRM system, just to start with a delayed process a little bit later. So let's build this up inside the SuiteCRM system, and let's use leads for this example. Then for the leads, for instance, we go into any random one, and then maybe we add one more field here and say like the first contact date. And then I want to follow up after a week, so I would have a delayed workflow. So first of all, I need to add another field into the lead data record. So I open the fields and already the layouts as well. And then I would make this one here a date or date time. If you do a date time, it has the advantage if you do most of the stuff during business hours and you do like business hours plus 7 days, it will most likely be again in the business hours. If you just do dates, it could be that you're logging into your CRM system and you've got like plenty of tasks in the morning because it triggered in the night time. So now we call this first or date of first contact, first contacted. Okay, that's good enough. And we need a underscore here, no spaces allowed. Check out my video on the fields just to see all the details, like what you can fill out here, what kind of options you've got with the fields and how to build those out. So far so good. I'll just add this in this way here. And I want to have this field inside my edit view, and I simply drag and drop the new row. And I want to have the first contacted date here. And I save and deploy. Make sure that you sync it to the detail view as well, because we want to see it there as well. If you haven't configured your views yet, check out my video on SuiteCRM and views. In this one, we're going into details how everything works. So first contacted date. And if you click on edit, then you will see it's a date time field. So you've got like the date and the time that you can configure here. Very well. Now let's go into the next step, the workflows. So I'm going back into the admin area. My workflow manager is here, and I create a new workflow. And I simply call this follow up lead. And this will be for the lead. I've got a couple of videos on the workflows as well. Check them out if you want to look into the details. Here, I would just quickly go through it. So only in the scheduler, since it is a delayed one, I don't want to do it on save right away. I want to do it in the scheduler. And it can be on, doesn't matter, all records, new, modified. Usually it would be modified records in these cases. So repeated runs, no, I don't want to run it repeatedly, just because it would be enough to follow up one time. So now I want to use the date that we just used, we created, first contacted. And now something special. I want to make it less than or equal to. And now I need to configure the date delay basically. So let's see. If I enter this one here, and I can put a date here now, and now we add the offset. Now -7 and then days. And as you can see, plenty of options for you here. 7 days is just a very simple one that we could use here. So, and then an action. What should we do? So maybe we create a record, and the record will be like a task for us. And I want to fill in a couple of fields. For instance, this field or this task should be assigned to the lead owner, assigned to the same like the lead. Makes sense, because if somebody takes care of the lead, then this person should be taking care of the task as well. Then the next thing that we want to do is, let's see, created by date created description. And now we can write something here. Please follow up with the new lead. And I want to have a subject as well. Lead follow up reminder. And we need maybe the status, which is not started yet. And maybe we add the priority as well, which is medium, because if you choose to do it later on, it's fine as well. Do you have anything else? I think this one is automatically filled. So the relate to workflow module means like it's automatically being associated with the correct lead. That is fine. We could add a due date or a start date, which would be now. Yeah, but I think it's good for now. So that's fine. If you feel the need, or if you usually use more details inside your task, go ahead and do that. But yeah, you can customize it as you see fit for your business requirements. So then, in order to make this run, you need to have the scheduled or the scheduler running. Let's quickly check this one out as well. So here's the scheduler inside your CRM system. Here's the instruction of how to make it run. So you need to put it into a cron job file in your underlying server, which should be a Linux file if you use this one here, a Linux server. And then if you want to see whether it works currently, you can simply go to the process workflows, and then you can see whether it ran, and then you can see the execute time, and it needs to be something close to now, or just like usually 1 minute ago. So the standard on a virtual private server on Linux, it's 1 minute, but you can configure it if you want to have like all 3 or all 5 minutes or something. Check out my video on the hosting for SuiteCRM if you thinking about like what kind of host to purchase for your SuiteCRM instance. So now that means the scheduler will be triggered every 1 minute. Then it will check all the workflows, which are scheduled workflows, which we just configured, as you can see, only in the scheduler. And then it will check for these conditions here. And if any leads can be found which meet this condition, then it will be triggered. So now let's give it a try. We first take this one here. And, we first take this one here. And I simply add the first contacted date, maybe to 2 days back. So now this date of the first contacted date is 2 days back, whereas 2 days is smaller than 7 days. So nothing should be happening at the moment. Therefore, I'm going into the workflow lead, in the workflow follow-up lead. So as you can see, you see nothing. That is correct because we don't have any leads which meet this criteria, which meet this condition here. So therefore, we're going to change this now. So we're going back into the lead here. And then the day I first contacted this lead, I will simply switch it to something which is maybe 10 days back or so. So 24th. Then I click on save. And now we'll wait again and see what happens. So after waiting for a little while, if I reload this page here now, I might be able to see the process audit with a record where it worked. So it seems like status complete, very nice, but is it really correct? So let's go into the task, or let's go into the activities, and there you see there's the task already, lead follow-up reminder, and I can check this out as well. So please follow up with a new lead. Priority is medium, start date not started yet, status. So as you can see, that worked just nicely. We were able to create a task, or we were able to create like a follow-up reminder or whatever, maybe an email. Like, you can go really creative now what you do with a delay. The important thing is just you add a field inside your record to trigger the delay or to justify the delay. Okay, let's quickly recap. Whenever you have business processes which pause for a while, could be hours, could be days or months, and you can configure this, then you can use the scheduler plus some date. So your record needs to have a date, and then your CRM or your workflow can check for this date. And if the workflow is configured so that the pause is now greater than the date delta, and then your workflow would be triggered just like you saw it now in the demo here. Thank you very much for watching. That's all for today. See you next time. Bye.